Hi and welcome to Whiskey Shared. You're watching my review of Whistlepig 10-year Straight Rye. I'm Toby and you're watching Whiskey Shared. Welcome to my review of Whistlepig 10-year Straight Rye. I thought I'd review this bottle before I finish it. I've been enjoying it quite a lot and yeah, it's gone down quite well. So I thought I'd let you know my thoughts on it and tell you how much I like it. Whistlepig is a company based in Vermont, USA, and their rye, especially this rye stock, started off as an aged rye from Alberta in Canada. And from what I understand, they rescued some rye stock that was used in Canadian blended whiskey, and they believed that this was too good to go into blends. So they bought the aged stock and they brought it back to Vermont to finish the aging process. They do a number of ryes, and this is their sort of, core release. This is the sort of the main bottling. Going forwards, their stocks will be distilled on the farm in Vermont, but this is still Canadian stock. Shall we find out what it tastes like? On to the whiskey. Right, so before I start nosing and tasting this, I will point out that I really like the design of this bottle. It's a really wide sort of flask style bottle. Has a really large cork topper. It has Whistlepig emblem embossed into the glass. It's really quite nice. It's not overly complex, but it really does give a premium feel. As I said before, this is a 10-year rye whiskey, and it's also 100 proof, so that's 50 ABV. But before I start, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that's like almost like a tawny, sort of tawny port colour. It's really quite dark. So let's start off with the nose. So it's very fruity to start with. I'd say it's like rich red apples. There's a hint of spice there. That sort of rye character, that rye cereal really is quite striking. There's hints of vanilla and sugary boiled sweets. There's a nice note of mint in there. But I also get, which I also get with some aged bourbons, get that sort of dusty antique furniture or antique sort of shops. You know, that sort of, yeah, that sort of old, dusty warehouse maybe. It's that sort of, really gives like an aged sort of note to it when you're nosing it. And I'd say there's also like there is like a spirity note, almost like acetone. But it's that's not sort of spirit forward. It is in the background. Let's try it on the palate. So the first thing you notice, plenty of heat, plenty of prickly spice on the tongue. It's probably one that if you are drinking neat and you are wanting to appreciate it, everybody, might need to add a drop of water, especially if it's too much the first couple of sips. But it's, yeah, it does pack a punch. This is a really nice sort of firecracker of a rye. I do like ryes, and they're known for their sort of spicy character, and this really does live up to that. Let's have another sip. Right, so once your palate's sort of acclimatised to that prickliness and the heat, I get lots of cherry, I get some sort of, you know, dry wood that's sort of coming through from the oak barrels. It is slightly viscous on the palate. Yeah, sort of oiliness. It's quite nice, and it is also quite sweet. That cherry note starts to turn into sweet vanilla, and there's also a hint of cinnamon with that spiciness. Let's have one more sip. Yeah, this really is a quality rye. It's yeah, packs a reasonable punch, and once you get past that on the palate, it brings out loads of sweet flavours, and it sort of balances off quite nicely with those sort of spicy and slightly bitter notes from the wood. But it's yeah, it's good. On the finish, that dry wood lingers, and then after that, you know, the pepper's still present, but it isn't prickly. And there's definitely like almost like an aniseed note that lingers there as well, and it really does linger for a long time, so it's got a nice long finish. It's definitely one I'll be buying again. I'll restock this in the cabinet. It's one of those drinks that really does command time spent with it. You know, you take your time with it. You really enjoy those flavours because they're so bold and so impressive. But also, if you do decide to put this in a cocktail, 50% is perfect because you get all those lovely rye cereal flavours come through. So it's yeah, it's definitely impressive. And I'll probably look to buy something else from the Whistlepig range because this really is quite impressive and does live up to their reputation. So if you're looking for a rye, I recommend this. It is a little bit pricey, but it's well worth it. So yeah, stauncher.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.